Thank you very much. Yeah, my name is Karlheinz Boiger from part of the Breathe Earth Collective. Thank you very much for the possibility and the great honor to be part of this great exhibition and this evening. Yeah, I want to share some small projects of our collective that are related with this let's say words climate culture that we defined our work. Yeah, as I say, we are a collective. For example, I'm an architect as profession. We formed and found ourselves together in this collective around about 7 years ago, when we worked at the Technical University in Graz on different projects with the students, especially for climate, the atmosphere, and urban design. So I'm an architect. Lisa, for example, is a landscape architect. Markus in the middle is an artist. Andreas Korecznik is a designer. Bernhard König is also a landscape architect. So you see, we found together with completely different professions and working in between or across the borders of these special professions. So in our work, we really focus on the issues of the climate, how we maybe can also learn from it, how we can combine architecture, technology, and natural processes into new hybrids. In the last years, we focused more and more on the, let's say, resource of the air. Because, as you can see here, we can for sure live, or we can survive a few weeks without food. We can survive a few days without water, but we can survive without air only a few minutes. So, as you can see, the air is one of the most important resources that we have in our atmosphere. And we like this quote from Thor Noretanda that we also used for our project at the Expo Pavilion in Milano 2015. When you take a breath, you touch a part of the planet with the inside of your body, because it's something that we think in every day after reading it about it, because now you maybe also see this one room of this thin atmosphere around our planet is only one room that connects every one of us, connects South America, Africa, and so on in one single room. So this resource of air was very important for us, and we tried to put it in the middle, in the center of this architecture for the Austrian pavilion in 2015 in Milano. As you can see here, a section, like an image. The first sketch that we made for this design was a real living forest in the middle of an architecture that is only the vessel or the surface that provides the performance of the nature. So it was somehow an idea of a hybrid, using natural processes and putting it together with architecture. And it is a building from the inside of the pavilion, 2015, where we really planted over thousands of plants and trees, also to create a very specific atmosphere inside, and also to use and to work with the natural process of evapotranspiration. I will call you later, I'll show you later a little bit about it. And see the architecture only as a part or a path around it, where we provide the visitors to walk through this forest, to feel the performance of the plants and the trees in this forest, and how it's cooling the surrounding and how it's cooling the atmosphere. So our idea was to provide with this hybrid a cooling machine. Outside of this pavilion, it had around about 36 degrees Celsius during the day in Milano. And in the inside we had 25 degrees or even less. So we got it to cool with this forest 10 degrees lower as on the outside. So our idea is, this idea of this pavilion was a hybrid of a natural performance with technical parts of the architecture, and also work and think and plan as architects and designers with these natural processes. Also, what impact we can make with this pavilion to the atmosphere. What is also very important for us is also to work with the senses. As you can see here, only rational, we just get 16 bits per second over skin, over humidity, over smell, all the senses that the human body have. We get over 500 million bits per second in our brain that we even don't think about. So it's very interesting, and that we work with. Yeah. So due to this evapotranspiration of the leaves of plants, this is the effect that we use for cooling the air, and we support it with technical systems that we force on this natural cooling machine. Some pictures out of this pavilion. After that, we were invited also to make some airship series. The Austrian Chamber of Tourism and Economy invited us to make some following projects that are moving. So we designed some mobile, very little, small pavilions that with the same concept, a living forest inside that providing a cooling and a very fresh air, and an experience that we can plant on different public spaces. For example, this airship one we also brought to Padua, Milano, Rome. It was also in Bordeaux and Vienna. The right one, the airship 3, for example, was in Milano again. So it was a mobile installation that could move around the cities, just to get maybe the people and the citizens aware of this issue, aware of the possibility how to think about green environment in architecture. This is a very poetic small project that we made for an, let's say, more artistic way. We were invited in Rothenburg and the Tauber in Germany for an artist in residency for a few months. It was during the Corona pandemic, so it was very difficult to make some, let's say, exhibition or something like that, or a performance. But they had a really amazing and a beautiful park near this castle of Rothenburg, and we experienced it. We researched a lot in this area, and in the end we made a very small intervention. We made some distillation out of trees of spices, and brought this to the people in a day of experience where everyone can experience the performance of this nature that maybe they didn't knew at this time. It was very fantastic because it was COVID, but especially with COVID and this smell of something, it was let's say somehow a great experience in a few days. Yeah, and what I want to show you in the end is the Climate Culture Pavilion in Graz. It's also part of this exhibition. Graz in Austria has also a problem, as I think all cities in Europe, about the overheating, the heating island effect, especially in the inner city. And we got for this climate year, it was an exhibition year in the city, one public square that we really erased the parking lots and tried again to make a temporary installation where we set a living forest in the middle and a wooden structure around it, to give people the chance, a platform, a stage to use it. So we also made an, let's say, competition where initiatives, where art initiatives and so on were invited to use this platform to make a program during all the year. So it's again a pavilion that is living, that is producing oxygen, binding CO2 from the atmosphere, cooling the surrounding, providing green is habitat for insects, animals, and so on, and for sure bringing the green experience into the heat island effect cities, and in the same time is stage for art and culture. So it was an installation for 1 year, from March to September. Yeah, again, a vessel, a textile vessel and surface that have different stages from open to closed. Yeah, and some pictures from inside, and it was very funny because again it was during the COVID pandemic. We got a lot of people that were using this stage outside as possibility to make their theater, for example, some art installations, art happenings, and for example this, as we done, were also crowd foresting action day, where we gave over 1,000 trees to people that wanted to plant it in the end. So yeah, that were some actions that we were doing in this Klima Pavilion. Yeah. So thank you very much.